Okay, so at this point, rather than going every step of the way and showing all the rank requirements, all the different techniques required for that, all the different kata required for that and stuff, I'll jump ahead a little bit, do a couple of more intermediate katas right now, just as sort of an overview, and then show a few partner drills, just as an overview. Okay. So right now I'm going to perform Pinan Shodan, which is one of our green belt katas. So Pinan Shodan. And I'll do the same kata from this angle. Go away. Now show them. We also have a set of 3 katas that go in a linear pattern called Nahanchi. What I'll do now is just Nahanchi Shodan, or Nahanchi number 1. Nahanchi Shodan. Show. Okay, there are many different partner drills in our style, in all styles. There are a lot of partner drills. Basic, intermediate, advanced, linear and circular techniques. At the more advanced level, there's joint locking, all sorts of things. We'll just try to cover a little overview of some of the things right now. Starting with the very basic blocking drill that the beginners do. We face each other left to left in our kumite stance. So start with So usually what we do is, at the beginning level, give them some comfort zone with a partner to start with, is we'll call out the blocks. Here, rise and block, right, down block, outside block, inside block, rise, down, outside, inside, rising, down, outside, inside. Okay, so switch, do it from right to right. There are many drills. This is just one example. So the same thing inside, rising, down, outside, inside, rising, down, outside, inside. So just keep the same pattern. So you want to stay within an imaginary square. So you have an imaginary square around your body, your shoulders and to your hairline. So you want to stay in that zone when you're performing your blocks. It's important at this level that you resist the urge to overblock, to block way out here, or overextend your arms this way. It's very important to stay in that square. So if we're facing each other left to left, at a more advanced level, I like to throw a lead hand. There's parrying or trapping, right? Parrying techniques, right? Okay. So you have the parrying techniques that you can use. There's parrying techniques. Block and strike at the same time becomes more of a parrying technique, right? Okay, you do a low hook down there. Right? Becomes more of a parrying technique where you're blocking and striking at the same time. That's more of an advanced thing, of an advanced technique. So if you stay left. Okay, so we also have blocking techniques this way. They're basic blocks. Better for blocking, hooking techniques. Right? Better for blocking haymaker or hooking techniques. Some of our blocking techniques that we have going this way are good for linear or straight punches, but for hooking motions, you need something with a little bit different body mechanics. Notice how my arm is configured here. My palm is down. There's a lot of tension in the arm. It creates a good blocking system for the hooking punches. Okay. Now start with the lead hand. So rising block, right? Down block. This is yet another drill that they do. Okay, outside block, inside block. Okay. Now in this drill they add the hooking or the more haymaker punches. Boom. Boom. Okay. So back to the rising block. Boom, down block, outside block, inside block. Okay, so here let's switch sides. Yeah, okay. So rising block, down block, outside block, inside block. Hooking punches, boom, boom. So at an initial level, they can deal with strikes coming straight ahead and strikes coming more of a hooking motion, okay, up toward the upper body. So let's switch. Okay, and then at a more advanced level, down here, they can deal with it blocking and striking at the same time. Okay, we're on the other side, right? Blocking and striking at the same time, right? Okay. You get a jab here, right? Parrying this way, rear hand. Parrying this way. Okay. So this is switch feet, awesome feet. Right? Okay. You do a jabbing motion, right? You can sidestep, parry. side, right? Put the low in there. Block and strike at the same time here. Block and strike at the same time here. So at a more advanced level, you do it blocking and striking at the same time. Also, if we're in a self-defense situation, and he decides to shuffle in with a jab anyway, we have soft blocking techniques at the more advanced levels. We get away from the hard blocks. So we do the same thing again. Okay, so I'll demonstrate that again, kind of slow mo. So you're evading, sort of going 45 degrees, basically using my little walking stance from the basic kata, the Kihon kata. Just a little slap, a little parry, swat. The other hand goes under and grabs, so you can control the arm. Okay, we can do a follow-up technique. Right, we won't get too much into the follow-up techniques right now. But you can see the transition between basic, more intermediate, and advanced. Intermediate, we're still using hard style blocking. We start to transition to blocking and striking at the same time, introducing parrying as opposed to strict hard blocking. Another variation is an attack comes in. Right, an attack comes in. You can do that same soft parrying technique, but instead of swatting the arm out to the side, you can use a shuto technique like I demonstrated in the Pinan Shodan. Pull down and strike. And you notice in the katas you see a lot of this, where the arms are pulled back to the side. A lot of times that's simulating grabbing. So he does the same technique again. I can come up here, pull down and strike. Okay. And then when you get to a little bit more advanced level, that becomes a joint blocking technique as a follow-up. Or from here, the follow-up can strike this nerve here. And do a takedown combined with the wrist lock. There are several different self-defense scenarios that we perform. This is just a slight overview. Let's see, let's go. Okay, so put, right side. Okay. One of the moves that was demonstrated in the Pinan Shodan kata was a move like this. What I'm going to do here, so what John is going to do is he's going to do a roundhouse kick to my midsection. Okay? So initially, I will just block with my forearms just to absorb the shot. We'll just take that as step one. Okay? Go ahead. So there. Oh, right? Let's do that again. Right? I'm just absorbing the shot. Now, if he's really kicking hard, okay, so we'll do it again. I can circle out slightly as I'm blocking to absorb some of the shot. Okay, there's a little piece of our footwork pattern that we saw earlier. Now, the other half of this technique is once contact is made, you can wrap the leg and end up in this posture like a kata. You end up there. And of course from there, we don't have a mat, so we won't do any throws today, but from here, it's quite easy to throw your attacker down to the ground. Okay, so there are a lot of hidden moves in the postures, the katas, which are very useful. A basic footwork drill. Let's see, let's get left to left. Yeah. I demonstrated earlier solo. So if he advances, you just simply retreat. Right? If I advance, he just simply retreats. I circle out, he circles the other way, so that we stay nose to nose, so we can't get on each other's blind spots. Now also, if he shuffles in and does a strike with his rear hand, I can parry an angle off 45 degrees. Switch sides. Do that. Okay. So the footwork patterns begin to come into play with a partner. If he steps through with a strike, I can simply sidestep. We did that in the footwork pattern solo. And for insurance, I did a parrying motion. You can do that from the other side too. And of course, once you have the advantage on the person's blind side, there are a lot of different techniques you can do and stuff. So, but without a mat, we don't want to do that all the way. So, in the Nahanchi kata I demonstrated, we're going to go this way. We have some trapping drills that I took from another system and integrated into the Shorin Ryu that work quite well for this range. We call it the trapping range. Earlier I demonstrated him jabbing at me, blocking and pulling the arm down. Initially, the drill is done with the hands in contact. And for example, your partner has his hand up here, so you've got something to make contact with. Now, initially, he'll nudge me like he's doing a jab. I'll feel that energy, pull his hand down to my belt, just help him along and do my strike. We do that as a basic trapping technique. Then we add things, striking the nerve points, adding joint locks and takedowns to that. Also at the beginning level, we add leg trapping, and then in the Nahanchi kata, I demonstrated, there's a little sweep like that. We also do another static drill like this. It started in a static position, and then you work into giving yourself distance and moving into it a little bit more realistic manner. But initially, just to feel your partner's energy is done from a static position. For example, if I take a low shot at John, and he blocks me, I feel his energy going this way. So I've got a little bit of distance between us. I'll slide up, trap the elbow in the leg, feel the back fist to the temple area. So put a little more speed on it. And it's a very economical technique. You can do follow-up techniques from there. Techniques can turn into other things. So very practical techniques. Also, this drill, if you've got a little less space, that just me there. And comes behind, trapping or parrying hand, and gives a little more torque. So there's a lot of subtle physics and body mechanics involved. Some of the blocking techniques that begin very hard, like this. And at some point later on, they become softer, more like parries. The motion is the same, but it's a lot faster, a lot less effort. For example, if I were to step in with a strike, I could do inside, outside block and then counter. But later on, it's much more relaxed and more practical. Do a squat and grab type technique. After a while, you get to where you can do it very fast and do different follow-up techniques from there. And at a certain point, we learn about different nerve points on the body to strike. Also, that same squat and grab can be done from the inside too. Can be done from the inside. And you can do follow-up strikes. In the Hanchi kata, we have a posture like this. So as you start learning more drills and everything, you begin to see where the katas come together. Right? An angle off here. Notice I stepped in, tried to stay fairly close to him, so I could do a follow-up technique, hand technique, or elbow with my knees, and with a sweep. Now, if he does that, and I react more out here, I've got more at a 90-degree angle. If I've got more distance than I'd like, I can try to maintain control of his arm and use my legs here, right, or here, right. So, and we do have lead leg kicking as well. In the beginning, the students are taught to kick with their rear leg, but after a while, they're taught to use all their weapons. And then at some point, in addition to using all these techniques, parrying, trapping, and all that, we're taught various elbow techniques and things too. They're extremely close range. So, and knee techniques. So, there is a lot to learn. Everything you learn in a kata at some point, one move can have several different meanings. Try to put it together into a coherent manner for learning. So this is pretty much just an overview. In the Pinan Shodan kata, there was a posture like this. Let's see, if you do the hooking punch, someone does a hooking punch, this posture from the Pinan Shodan kata becomes a head cover, strike from the nerve point on the side of the neck at the same time. Jaw line. This side. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Hello? The door?
Can you turn the thing off?
Huh?
Is the speaker off?
Yes.
Okay, that's all.
Okay. Yeah, the door's locked, right? I'll just jiggle the handle.
I just checked it. Are both locked, you know?
The custodian, when we came in, both were locked. The custodian messed with that one.
Just the custodian did that one?
Yeah.
Then I'll try it on outside.
Okay, so I'll make sure the lights are off and the speakers
It's
off.
locked, but I'm just making sure.
Okay, yeah, just keep them locked. I'll make sure they're shut.
Okay.
Anything else? Thank you. Okay, so comes in with a hooking motion to the head. That posture for Pinan Shodan. We cut this done this way. It can be done this way also. becomes a cover. Right? You crash in and strike at the same time. Jawline or temple there. And back to that same nerve point again with the forearm. It's a very good strike. This is one of the knockout points in very quick fighting. Now, you can do this. You can do the same thing again. You could go all the way through with a hammer fist here rather than going with the forearm. So it's okay. Either way, it works fine. So as you can see, you can strike 1, 2, 3 times very quickly. Once, twice, on the same, 3 times on the same side. Once, twice, 3. You go all the way through, like you've got a stick or a blade in your hand. Or go through the neck. Okay? One of the other things I also showed in the kata was some knife hands. Shoot those knife hands. Knife hands are very versatile. Also, if he comes in with the same technique again, I can do the same posture, but with my hands open. And the knife hand showed was like this. And he does that again. You strike this point on the knee at the same time. As soon as you make contact here on the side of the neck, you wrap above the elbow. Really good joint pump. That's the posture from the kata right there. Once it comes in with that, boom. It doesn't matter. You can do the knee strike. If you can't think of it, that's fine. Bam. Above the elbow. Boom. You can see the position on the joint lock. Okay. Also, the shuto. So if you go 1, 2, like that, right? So also the shuto, very versatile. You can go here, boom, boom, sort of a passing hand thing. Sensei I had referred to it as passing hand. So you got your defensive posture up. You don't want any violence. Here comes that one. Boom. He throws another punch before you can do this joint locking thing or pull him down. And you just pass. Right? And then you can do different techniques from there. So we'll do that. Okay? So boom, boom. So the moves in the katas are very versatile. The kata is like the alphabet. You can combine moves from different katas to make new techniques. We have our knife hands up high. We have a posture this way in another kata. They can be easily combined to make techniques. Here my cat stance. I come up with my knife hand, and I turn it into a joint locking technique. Okay? Getting this posture from another cat. Right here, right. Come under. Do a joint locking technique here. I can do it on the other side. Joint locking technique here. So sometimes what appears to be just a block against a kick or something turns out to be a joint locking technique. Initially, it can be a block against a kick or something. So these are just a few things that we do. Thank you very much. Okay, one last thing for our little overview here is a more advanced technique that has some circular or spinning to it. It has its roots in Aikido. If a person's coming at you with a linear attack, you can evade off at a 45-degree angle, grab their arm, spin around with the forearm, strike them back to their neck while you're seizing their arm. Okay? Here, seizing the arm, back of their neck with the forearm. Okay? And of course, you practice it on both sides. Practice it with a partner, becomes a bit more realistic. So he steps in with a strike toward the face. Just do a slight parry. Come up, straight up. The Shito strike that I was talking about. When you seize the wrist, on the back of the neck with your forearm, you end up in the same direction that he's going in a forward stance. Okay, so we do it kind of like this. Okay, so it goes. Okay, so we go again. You go here and you don't stop. Do it as a continuous motion. So you're helping him along. You're not really resisting the force. Okay, so we'll do it from this angle too. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Comes in, boom. Boom. And do it in a more continuous motion. Again, there's our stances, forward stance. That's where you're at for a split second. So they're very useful in these types of scenarios, not just for building leg strength. Okay. So let's do it from this one. Okay. And let's see if we can do it like that. Yeah. Boom. There's your Shudo. There's your forward stance. Right there. Okay? And if you do this full force, and it works out for you, he'll still be going that way. If not, you can help him along with the joint locking technique, or you can help him along here. Right? So, okay. So, just this way. You turn around and go the other way. Got a hold of his wrist, and the forearm's going here. Okay? All right. That's good. So,